we're going to use the 12-inch wreath. I took the supports off and I used some of this wreath the other day. I want this to be very natural, organic feeling, so I'm going to put in some of this vine to start off the project. So if you'll just take your piece and spread it out and start to kind of work with it. This is going to sound kind of hokey, but the vine will kind of talk to you and tell you what it wants to do. You see how this piece has lots of small vines? That's the best kind to use for these type of projects. So you can see I've got a nice section of vine here that would kind of work through my whole arrangement. So I'm just going to cut it right here. We don't need all of that. And we'll start working on it, okay? I'm just cutting this with my wire cutters. Another tool I like to keep around handy is just some regular cutters for the garden, some like snips. Now mine are out in the garden because, you know, the garden, I stole the ones from here for that. Okay, so I've got my foam in. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it in and get it prepped and ready to go. I do generally use my Gorilla Glue just because it's my backup plan. Y'all will hear me say that all the time. I have backup plans. That's just because of my history doing craft shows. People walking up, carrying your whole arrangement by one twig. I want to try to construct things that are going to last for the long haul. And not only is it going to make my customer happy, but it's also going to survive shipping. And if I'm making it for myself, I certainly want it to last a long time too, right? So I'm just putting some glue on here. If I had my larger glue pot, I still would have to do the same thing. All right, I'm popping her in. So a little Gorilla Glue and then our hot glue on top. Basically the Gorilla Glue is going to work later to secure it, but right now the hot glue is going to get it nice and hot. So the base is secure, we got it cut, we got it going in, and I am filling up most of the container with this. Now, we talked about I want the vine in here. This is grapevine and I want it to work to be really organic and naturey feeling. So I'm going to take and spread it apart, and we're going to just kind of see how it spreads apart. And it's kind of giving me a little bit of a loop on this side and a loop in the middle. And I think I can kind of work with that. So in order to secure this down in some of these places, we got a couple of options. We can start with it staple gunning it to the wood base, which would be fine. Or we could just kind of start securing some pieces into the foam. You got a couple of different options. But we need to cut it into those sections to kind of make this look happen. All right, and we're going to work the pumpkin into the middle. But where a bunch of the tension's occurring is right here at the center. So I'm going to cut this into some little bitty different sections. I'm going to come in here. And basically we're going to cut it into 3 different circles. So now that we took some of that pressure off, look how that'll lay down for you just fine, all right? And you can keep some of it connected, but we want it to be really easy to work with. And then I'm going to take this piece on this side, and that means if I cut this one, it should lay down pretty good. Okay, so I've kind of relieved some of the pressure on there. And I'm going to start to secure it in the middle with some wire. I just like this 18 gauge wire. It's the kind I use for hangers. Just regular 18 gauge wire. It's strong enough to hold its shape, but it's easy to manipulate. And that's what I like about that. It's my favorite gauge wire. Let's put it in to start holding this in place. So, okay, grapevines are a little bit ornery, but they're the least expensive type of vine you can add to your piece. If I were to use artificial vine, I love artificial vine because it's so easy to manipulate, but it's going to cost more. Okay, so I'm going to take my first piece and put it right in the middle, just like a big giant U-pin. And that's going to kind of hold that section in the middle now, okay, in place. Now, we're going to put some more pieces in a second, but I need to get that big pumpkin in there the way I want it so I can manipulate this around. So we're using a set of pumpkins that comes with 6 little ones and 1 big guy. And I want this guy to sit in this grapevine cluster kind of just like this off to the side. So this is going to go in on the right. So we're going to start off with a dowel. This is a dowel that you use for, that's what you use for, what do you call this? Barbecuing. So it's not really a dowel, it's called a shish kebab skewer. Skewer, thank you. I couldn't think of it. Spit it out. So once you kind of establish your angle, we're going to skewer it in. Skewers are my favorite thing to use to hold pumpkins and stuff like that. Now we're going to trim down the stem where it's long enough to get to that foam, but not so long it's not going to go in. Let's see if this will work. All right, so I talked about I like it a little bit at an angle. I want him to just kind of tuck it up here and over to the right side. Okay, and as we start to work with that vine, we're going to work it in, but I'm going to go ahead and pin a little bit more of it down. All right, we're going to bring this twig down. I'm going to try to hold it in place a little bit. So I'm going to come in here with a floral pin that I made out of that wire. We're just going to try to hold these down just a little bit. We're going to have florals and stuff to help it stay down, but I want to kind of start playing with this a little bit. And you can kind of bend it a little. There we go. It's a little bit better. And this one I'm going to pull out a little. So the reason I'm doing this first is just it makes it a little easier to deal with it than putting it all in later. I'm going to push this one in the bottom of the pumpkin. Okay, cool. So you can see we're getting a good spread. We're going to be ready to put our florals in. Now, we've got our small pumpkins that we're going in, but we're going to be putting in these great ferns. And I picked out like a light coral berry in a bush to go in here too. So I've got my twigs where I want them. I've got my main pumpkin, but now we need to get some of the other main aspects going in. All right, all these cute little green pumpkins, some come like a cream green, some come in a darker green. We're gonna need those in next. Here are the two really corally bushes we're putting in. Since this is such a pretty green, you can see how pretty it mixes with this coral. I've got a berry that has those colors, a little bit of greenery on the leaf, and this one has a pretty like berry cluster that we're gonna use. That's gonna be our color. Then for our greenery, we're going to use some everyday greenery here. We're going to use a eucalyptus and a fishtail fern. And then my favorite fern is this fern with a little bit of the darker center that has that natural look. And oh, you guys, we're going to be putting in a little bit of pampas too. That is that pampas we had custom made for us, and it's got these great, just this really good green, really good green. All right, I'm just trimming this down to go ahead and cut this bush into sections. So I'm just pulling it down. It has the cutest little frond here in the center. I'm gonna see if I can pull it out. Oh, I can a little bit. Okay, cool. I got one with a wire, one without, but I will save these and put these in the middle too. And I'm gonna cut these down. So we're gonna open this up and start to spread this bush out and trim it. And what we're gonna wanna do is work in and out of the grapevine. So just like wreaths have transition points, we will have the same type of thing in a centerpiece where we'll have a transition of direction. And there can be multiples, and depending what centerpiece we're doing tonight, we're going to have all kinds of different transitions. But today it's occurring a little bit off center. This pumpkin is a little more right than left. So you know that your florals need to come out from there. This side to the right, this side to the left. So we're going to start with some of our longer sprays and get some of this fern kind of underneath here to kind of set a beautiful bed for these greenery to be laying on. So just like you would in a wreath, you're going to set your perimeter and start setting that with the fern. And I'm going to work it in through the grapevine. Anybody likes any tool. I'm telling you, there's no tool he doesn't like. Actually, if I want to con him into a project, I say con in the nicest way, but if I want to con him into something, all I have to do is propose that it would require a new tool purchase. All right, we've got our first two pieces in on the left. We're going to do the same thing on the right. And you can see I'm using the greenery, like I told you, we're going to use that to kind of hold down a little of this vine. We know it's secure in the middle, it's secure under the pumpkin, but now I'm working over that. And if you're new, you may never have heard me say this, but those of you who've been around, when I work on depth and dimension in my designs, it makes your work worth more money in the long run, okay? So we got two pieces on either side, and we're going to use triangle placement. So far we've got one long one short one, and then we'll bring another short one to the back side. Do that same thing where I'm working it in and out of the grapevine. So some it'll go over, some it'll go under. So that means it grew here, the grapevine was there, and then it grew after, right? You know what technique's been working pretty good lately is if if I say, well, you know, we're going to have to hire somebody to do that project, I mean, he comes out of nowhere to do it. I think it gets done. It gets done. So you can see if you're having some confusion about triangle placement, it means I'm just putting one piece in like the top of the triangle and the other two below here. So I'm making a triangle, okay? It's this way. I'm making it this way. But I'm doing that on either side. So we have a transition where things change direction, and then we're also thinking about placement when we put everybody in. Okay, we have 6 more pumpkins that kind of need to go in next, so they've got to get in here, okay? So let's get some more of our skewers. Ta-da! So I'm going to start to put these on. Instead of just putting these straight, give them a little bit of an angle, so that way when that pumpkin goes in, we can play with it a little bit. And I'll trim that down. And we should be able to get a couple out of each of these. These I got at a grocery store or something because they were so super thick. I might have even gotten them out of town. So when I find something unique, like, and they have them, they won't be as cheap as the Walmart ones, but they're a lot thicker. I usually go ahead and pick up a couple because they usually come in packs of several. So I'm going to take a big, a medium, and a small one and get them all ready to go in. Let's get these in first. And I'm going to kind of cluster them, and rather than put them all over, I'm going to let them do their own little cool cluster. I'm going to let them get in the twig game back here. So this one's going to go in. You see the dimension already with the twig going over that? All right. Let's put this one maybe down a little bit right here. Kind of angled a little bit differently. Pop it in there. And then I'm going to put this little baby one kind of stacked right there. If I have a long enough stem. I don't have a long enough stem, so let me get one a little longer. That's okay, we can save it for the other side. So I'm gonna put that one right there, okay? I made me a little cluster. So I've got a cluster here, I've got a big dynamic piece here, and then I'm gonna have another cluster, but this one I'm gonna move out from the pumpkin a little bit. We're gonna put it down here. So I kind of have this shape forming that's not exactly the same coming through. I kind of prefer it to be a little bit different. So let's put the, oh no, don't get in the glue pot. Uh-oh. I lost the tip of my fern. It's the first casualty of the night. It could happen. We could have casualties. Okay, so I'm letting that go over the top. I'm going to keep this below it. Isn't this a fun green? Yes, this is kind of a Keleas style. This pretty green look. I love it. I have 2 over here, and I'm going to, instead of putting the third one there, I'm going to go a little bit further back with it, down, maybe down right here. So the nice thing about this whole pumpkin set, it's filling up a lot of real estate in the design. And it's allowing us to work that grapevine right around it. I love that. All right, let's go back here. Okay. All right, so there's going to be a different, you know, we're going to have a whole flow going from the front. So far, we've got good spacing on our greenery. I'm happy with that. I'm ready to put some more fern in and kind of soften the whole look of everything we got going on. So one thing I think would be pretty is if we could work a little of this fern kind of cupping back on itself and kind of coming softly to either side. And we could do that a number of ways. Like I could have it work the back of it come up, but I think I'm just going to have this work softly on the front of the design. So we got to get it down into the foam here. I want to hear it crunch, and then I'm going to bring that up here, just kind of working in softly over the vine a little bit. Let's do that on either side. All right, fantastic. I'm pulling those centerpieces out if they'll come out. Ugh. Because I'm going to save those for somewhere special, those cute little pieces. We are going to be centerpiecing till the break of dawn, baby. Till the break of dawn. Kelea's got it going on. No, that's a different song. That's not the right song. I'm feeling good. All right, we're going to cut all of these. Breaking it down. And now we're going to work on the other side. I want to get the cutest piece I have. The most neat one that's got the neat little, I don't know, I love ferns. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I love how they look so natural. So I'm going to take this one, and I want it to kind of come up a little bit on the body too. Kind of get it up there. Get it going on. This is my kind of color scheme. Really kind of natural. I have a design in mind. I usually do not make them first, unless the exception is if I'm under a lot of stress, or you know, if I just feel like, oh, this is something new that's so different, then I might make it first. But generally, I'm going to have a design in mind. I've got a curriculum together that Nicole and I put together for design school of what we want to make sure we're covering throughout the year. So we're setting you up for success when you're in the class. So you're learning the elements, they build on each other, the styles build on each other. And once I do that, then I can put the supplies together and kind of have a rough idea. It's just because I've had lots and lots of practice doing it. So I have this much fern left. And because this is my favorite, most delicate greenery, you'll see me do this a lot, guys. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to want some more to the foreground. I want to use some less delicate greenery now to fill in. But can you already see, if you are on a budget and you need to make some pieces that are on a budget for your craft show, for a gift, for your church, even for your own home, I could literally probably get with this fern and let this be so organic and beautiful. Okay, we're going to step it up. I'm going to add color. We're going to add more texture. We're even going to add pampas. But this is very pretty how it is. So there's a stopping point already. Fishtail fern is one of my favorite fillers because it can go any season. This is the lighter green. It is the lighter green. So I'm going to take and push these up. Now I'm going to still cut this very long because I need to get into the foam and tuck these in all around. So I'm going to cut these as long as they'll go. You'll notice I've already pushed it up to kind of keep the cluster at the top. And we're going to use these to kind of extenuate the lines a little bit because I like how they hang and lay and they have all that great texture. So we're going to take and pop this under our pumpkin here, and we're going to let this kind of come out in the middle of the piece and let it come out and kind of spray over. That's my long one. My next one's going to go in shorter, so I'm going to cut that shorter, and we're going to put it in a little bit further back. So we're using piggyback placement that we would do in a wreath. We're using it here in this centerpiece where I'm putting two in together. I'm just doing it 2 separate steps, but there's a long one and a short one. Okay, we've got one on this end. We're going to do the same thing on the other end. So piggyback placement, long and a short right here. And if we want to do it all in one step, we can just trim them at the same time and take and swirl it in the glue. And then I'm going to put that in right in the middle. Okay, I've got a fern here, but I'm just going to let the fern be on top. You want to hear it crunch in. I want to hear both those pieces crunch in. So I've just extended the lines a little bit. I've made it longer with that one piece. And I'm going to try not to cook like I cooked the tip of my fern. All right, now we're going to use the same placement right here in the center. And this time I need it to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to trim it a little shorter, but one's longer, one's shorter. So it gives me, the reason I do that so it looks really nice and realistic and it doesn't look like you just shoved it in. Okay, anybody can shove it in. It takes time to work on your placement and your direction and your layering to get this look we're going to work on here. So I let that vine go on top. That is so pretty already. I love this. Okay, let's go to the back. We're going to put the last piece in the back. And I'm going to make it a little bit shorter as well. And we're going to put this kind of right underneath where we have the fern in there. So you notice we're working in the 4 quadrants on this arrangement. We've got the front and the back, which are working opposite directions to each other. This one's going this way. This one's going this way. And then we have the sides, which are both using triangle placement. We got both going on. Okay, see how pretty? It's looking good already. All right, our next step is we're going to add in our eucalyptus, and this is like a nice bushy eucalyptus, same color tones. We're just going to put a little bit on each side to fill in a little, okay? Let's have this piece go right here. I'm going to use a big one and a small one, same technique. a little cluster, a short cluster. I'm going to cut them to the same size. Oh, these are such different pumpkins, but they're so like understated. They don't like scream, I'm a different color. You know, they're just so neat. Okay, so I've got that little cluster of 2. Let's put another cluster of 2 on this side. I'll just turn it a little bit. And this time it'll need to be a little bit lower. It's not exactly the same place, but it's kind of similar. Okay, a long and a short. Let's see who's the longest and the shortest. I'm going to kind of mix these. It's a pretty, it's kind of an understated color palette. But, you know, there are people who are going to like that. All right, once again, I could just fill in with these last 2 pieces any holes and I could be done. If I wanted to keep it super neutral, it would be gorgeous. I'm getting ready to introduce color, and I'm going to hold this off to the side too. We're going to use these to fill up. So far I've saved some of the fern, I've saved some of the eucalyptus. I did use all of the fishtail in there. So we're going to come in now with our cool, and I don't even know what this is called. I forgot the name of it, but this is kind of a pretty coral color. It just screams when you put it in here, okay? It's just such a pretty combo. All right, here is that all broken down. We're going to start to use it in clusters. So you'll notice we've used everything in clusters in here. And I prefer to do it that way. So I'm going to go with a high-low combination, trim them down. I need the stems to be fairly long. And we're going to start to put these in, okay? So I'm going to push these in right here. I'm going to kind of keep them clustered. I want to make sure I hear it go into the foam. That's my first section. Now, if I use these in 2s, and I'm only going to use 1 bush, I got to think about how many sections that will give me. And that will give me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 6 clusters. So if I divide that equally, I'll have 3 per side, which is perfect because it allows me to use them in triangle placement. Okay, you're going to see you're going to build up triangles in your whole design as you're building. All right. So I'm going to take another 2 here, and we're going to try to put these on the end. I'm just going to trim them, and I'm going to put 1 and then the other because that way I won't burn myself. I want these kind of tight into the base. I don't want these shooting out, just like little clusters. I love that. And let's go right beside it. All right, try to minimize those glue strings, guys, if you can. I hate to come back and do them. All right, 1, 2. We're going to go to the back with number 3. So visually from the top, I should see that triangle rocking. How's everybody doing? You guys are just coming in. Thanks for being here. I'm going to rotate this around. This one's going to kind of go back in the back here. I'm going to put the shorter one in first. Push it in. And I'm going to cut this one a little short. I'm going to use these to kind of fill in here. And get that looking good. Looking fine. How pretty. Okay, those 3 are in. You can see that triangle it's created, and it's great. Now let's go on the other side. Same thing. The only thing we have a little bit different is we have the pumpkins in a little bit different space. So we might have to do 1, 2, 3, okay? And we'll shift them around. But we want that. We don't want it to look matchy-matchy. That's not how I'm going to teach you to design. That you can do things that way, but we want them to be a little more, give the perception they have a free form, even though they don't, right? All right, our first piece went in, and now I'm going to work 1 across right here at the tip, and then 1 tucked in over there. Okay, and let's put this one in right here behind the fern. These are so pretty. Okay, hopefully you can kind of see the triangle placement on there. It's pretty obvious. It's got even distribution. It looks great. And that introduced a little bit of color, a beautiful color. All right, I'm saving my berries because they're going to be like the fun crawly part around the design. But I'm going to go ahead and put in my pampas and finish up with a little bit of greenery. Okay, the container's 1963. Y'all, and the size is on the description too, and in the supply list. Y'all, we're one of the few people who has a clickable supply list for every project we do. So whether you buy from us or not, you can still go to that supply list and see everything on there anytime you want. So I'm going to use this kind of just on the inside next to the pumpkin. I'm just going to tuck it in first just to make sure we like the lines we're going to do. So we have transition here. We have it going left and right. And this little cluster kind of comes out right. So I'm going to try to see how this would look in just right here. I haven't glued it yet. Oh gosh, that would look great right there. I love the wispiness of that. And this is a darker green pampas. This is our custom one, and I love it because each of these is wired. So I don't have to just go with the flow, like they are wired. So if I want them to work more like a feather, I can, and I love that. So I'm going to give this some movement going out to the right, and we're going to go behind the pumpkin on the other side. I'm pretty confident, so I'm going to glue this one. Got to get up and put it in. Just going to kind of add a little bit of pizzazz, a little drama. Oh, pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this green. It's so pretty. Okay, and then the third one will come out in between the vine on the back. You know, my dream's always to have a physical shop. That's always been one of my dreams, and so I couldn't. It's not currently on my list to do, but exactly, that's something I want to do when Kaya's gone, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with myself, right? When she's all grown up. I'm gonna go in here, y'all. Pretty. Oh my gosh, I really like this. How wispy that is coming out of the twigs. All right, let me just trim this one down and we'll put it in the middle. It's really fun to add in a little bit of drama. You could do as much or as little as you want. We're gonna add a little bit more fern, kind of layering in with it. But I'm gonna leave these three long. All right, use those wires, manipulate it how you want. Add some drama. Now it's time for our berries. Oh, let me put a little more fern in. But you can see over time the design changes a little, and you can do what you want. What do you do when you're done but you have some areas to be covered? So in this particular design, I've got greenery left, so I'm not done yet. I've got greenery, and we've covered almost everything. So I'm going to come back in, and I want to layer a little greenery on top of my pampas. So I soften it a little bit in there. I'm going to put it in the clusters. But I would just use Spanish moss on this one, because if you have a hole, you could just chuck moss in, and you won't hardly need any. So I've got a little bit of holes in the back here that I would just put Spanish moss in. That's my favorite thing to use. All right, I'm going to layer this one on top of the pampas just to give it a little bit of natural, and bring that in. I'm going to bring this twig in the middle, bring that up, and then I'm going to put one more piece right here. Okay, oh, that's pretty. So that softened that up a little bit, kind of rebalanced it a little bit. I love the texture that's giving us. Okay, I'm going to come to the back here where I told you I've got that little bitty hole. It's a little higher. I'm going to put this one piece of eucalyptus there just to kind of cover up the mechanics. So we've done a really good job of getting everything kind of covered with what we've got going on. My last little step will be to add a little, oh, that looks so cute back there. And I'm going to put a little bit off this corner here. So do save a little bit of each greenery, because then you can use to fill it in. And then if you don't quite have enough, then you can just tuck a little Spanish moss in. You don't even have to do that on this one. You got it nice and full. All right, it's berry time. So we've got our coordinating pink, they're not pink, coral berries that go with the other clusters in there. So we're going to put a couple of these in, and I'm strictly going to use these to add movement and pop some color to the top of the design. So I want to cut these long as I can. So I'm going to cut them into two sections right now. So I'm going to cut this long and cut this long. Everything in here comes from our shop, even the containers. All right, I'm thinking about putting this one in here and letting it kind of crawl over that pumpkin. You see, oh my goodness, these kind of little touches are just bring that, just that touch you need, okay? We'll put that one in, and then I'm going to put the other one going the other way. So this one will come out of the front and kind of tuck in this way and then go over the top. And I'm going to layer that one a little bit in. So we got a little berry up and a little berry down, like coming in and going back around, continuing those lines of the grapevine, okay? So that's how I made the choices to put these berries there. Let me glue them in. And I think we've done it, you guys. The berries on the bomb.com. Now let me know if you have any questions. The berries pop that color, yes. So we needed those berries to kind of really finish it off. I'll give it that, the cherry on top. That's what these are doing for us, literally. Make sure you hear it go into the foam and use that wire. That's why we cut those long, to kind of bring that in. But I think it turned out beautiful. We are making a rustic fall wreath, and this recipe tonight's going to be pretty easy. I think you're going to enjoy it, and I'm going to try to break it down super simple so you can make a fun wreath like this. Tonight we're working with a pre-made fall wreath base. So let me pull up your comments. Certainly welcome you all. This is kind of a unique wreath base that it is corn husk, and it's got fake wheat on it. I love that. And these cute little twiggy type grass in there, which gives it all this great dimension. So while you guys are coming on, I'm going to start shaking hands with it. Welcome everybody. If you're brand new or you haven't been in here a while, I'm going to remind you guys to like, follow, and share. I'm Kelea. I teach floral design, all artificial and silk flowers. So we're coming up into the busy, super amazing season where everybody enjoys decorating their homes, and I'm hoping I'm giving you guys a ton of inspiration. Hi June, good to see you. Frida's ready for some fun times. Hey Pat, awesome. Hey Wendy, glad to see you over here. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this is what you have to do with a lot of your wreath supplies when you get them, is you're going to have to take some time to do what we call in design school shake hands. Awesome, Teresa, I'm glad you're here tonight. So shake hands is kind of like, you got to have a lot of patience, but you can see I kind of started on this wreath a little for you guys, started kind of spacing it all out and making sure things aren't pointing the wrong way. Straighten this out. When you buy nice wreath supplies, things are going to be wired, okay? And that's what we sell on Keleas.com. Beautifully wired pieces, and you want to make sure you're utilizing that. Oh my gosh, you guys are great. I love that you're all coming in. This is fantastic. I'm straightening out the wires, all that. And wherever you're watching, if you have questions, please ask. I will try to answer. If we don't catch you live right now, I'll get you on the replay. Now, the other thing I don't want you to forget is to get a spot on our text list. That number is 832-734-5201. We'll pop it in the comments also. It's also on our link tree if you're watching anywhere else. Just text us the word live and we'll get you set up to get live alerts whenever we go live. All right, we've got it fluffed out good, and this is where we're going to start. Now I'm going to show you guys what else we're going to put with this tonight. And remember, this is going to be easy. It's a great beginner piece because when you start with such a gorgeous base, like you don't have to do a lot to make it look amazing. But I want to show you how pretty our color palette's going to be. I've picked out 3 of these really neutral pumpkins right here, and they kind of got this beautiful wash on them, which is going to kind of, go in really good with these corn husks. Then this mustard berry. Can you see why I picked that out? That we've got the mustard color of the wheat. This is just a beautiful contrast that's going to go really well with that. So we're going to use 3 of these. Now, I want to show you also the filler flower we're going to use. So this is going to function like a bigger piece. Like these would work like your main flower in your wreath design. Each of these picks is going to work like that, okay? So when you see these, you're thinking the main flower. In the spring, we'd be using peonies and magnolias. And at Christmas, we'd be using poinsettias. That's what those are, okay? Now, this is going to work like a filler flower. This is our phoenix bush that has, no, I think this is called a heather bush. And it has worked so well for us because it has greenery and color. And you can see I picked out something with a little more pop of color. It's got the orange, so it's going to pull out a little bit of that more traditional and pop really well with the other 2. So we've got the 3 pumpkins, and I have 2 bushes of the greenery. Now, I can't wait to show you our ribbon choices. Now, don't forget, we've got this gorgeous washed pumpkin in there. And so that made me think, let's pick out this ribbon right here. It has a pumpkin in there that's kind of a white and cream, and then this one that's orange washed. So we're going to use this ribbon. This wreath comes exactly like you see it. What you see right here comes exactly like this. I didn't have to do a thing to it. Okay, and we're going to add the layers to it. So we're going to use this ribbon, and we're going to get that little pop of the cream. We're going to pull that out of here. And then I am a plaid nut. I love plaid. Plaid freak, rather. Let's call it what it is. So we're going to mix this beautiful brown plaid with that and put those together. Okay? So you kind of get our idea. We will have an entire supply list for you when it's done. Before this video started, we had some of all of this in stock. I can't guarantee how long it'll be here, but the supply list is always available to you. Even if something's sold out, you can go take a look at it later. We like to make sure that you have, you know, the resources available to you to see exactly what you need to make what we're making, okay? So this is an easy bow maker I'm pulling out. I'm going to get my ribbons, and we're going to go ahead and tie that bow first. So I'm going to put big old wreath off to the side. When you fluff this out, it can go up to 24 inches. It's nice. It's going to be nice and big. Isn't it going to go good with the ribbon choices? Yes, me too. I love that. So let's load up first on the bow maker. We're going to load up the pumpkin, okay? Have that going in the back here. Now, I love I do bows on Wednesdays with you guys, so I'm going to just be making this one together, but if you need bow instructions, come join us on a Wednesday, because that's when I'm really rocking. Oh, you want to grab these ribbons? Yeah, no problem. We're going to have a supply list available for you when we're done, and we'll be posting it here for you shortly, okay? I'm doing 6.5, a little bit bigger, because this is kind of a big base. So 6.5. We're going to go 6.5 on this side. All right, and twist. Got to get a nice sharp twist. Now I'm going to keep that same length as I go around. Just twist when you get to the center and hold it and fluff it out. Okay, and we're going to make our bow first, and then we'll start putting... Oh, you guys know what? I didn't heat up my glue gun. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Hold on. It's hard as a rock. Hello. Hello. Nobody's home. Let me plug that in while we're tying. Yeah, rookie mistake. Just when I think I got my act together. Psych. No, we don't. Hold on, let me plug that in. What was I thinking? I mean, I'm all for wiring things together, but not that much wiring. Gluing is a lot easier. Let me crank it up a little hot so it'll get going. If y'all see the glue gun on fire, the glue pot, let me know. If it gets really, really hot. Have you guys ever done that? Started almost ready to get to work and be like, dang it, my glue pot's not heated up. It's literally so irritating. Well, we got plenty of work to do before we start gluing, so that's okay. Hello there. Good to see you guys too. I'm glad you're coming in to join us. This is fantastic. Y'all, and if you're making something similar right now, or you like some of these colors, let me know in the comments and tell me what colors you're enjoying using for all your fall that you're working on. I know this is kind of a traditional look, and of course we're loving, I love anything new and different too, but there's always going to be a demand for things that are a little more traditional, so you got to keep it up. It happens to you all the time that you forget to plug in your glue pot. Yes. I get it, Stephanie. All right, now we're going to put our second layer of ribbon on top, and I'm going to come in at 5 inches, so just a little shorter than the last. We were at 6.5, and now I'm at 5, or you could go 5.5. And we're going to put this really beautiful plaid right on top. And we're going to do 2, I think. Oh, thank you, Karen. You like it? Awesome, awesome. Hey, Trisha. Okay, we're going to take and separate these out. Let's get the next one in. Scrunch it. So we've got 3, 2, and I think we'll just finish up with one more of the pumpkin. Kind of making it up as we go. Hi, Vicky. Let's put the pumpkin on top. Do one more. How are we doing over here? We're doing something. It's getting there. Not really quickly. Go! Go, glue pot, go! Let me cut this one, and we will do one more layer over here. I'm going to cut that tail quite a bit shorter, probably about 14 inches. Let's see, I am going to go at 4 here. 4.5. Let's go 4.5. Twist it really tight. Right here. Oh, nice, Stephanie. Fantastic. Woohoo! Let me make sure those match. For some reason, I had that a little smaller. See how pretty that is? It gives you a nice muted look. Now, if you want, we could add like a little bow tie of the plaid on top. Let me see if I want to do that or not. Just make a little loop. Let me see if I like it. Oh yeah, that's pretty cute. Let's do that. Sometimes that little bit of contrast right on top is just so perfect to tie it all together. Okay, let's put this combo in and just pleat that right up. And then we'll put that in the center and have our, we call that a bow tie, literally just because it has no tails coming down. How cute! Stinking cute already. Hello there from South Carolina. Hey, Karen. You like the combo? Yay! Fantastic. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Like normal, we're going to have fun. I got to have fun, guys. This job's too much work if we're not having fun, right? Any job can be. Put that cable tie right beside, pull it up. Ooh, I smell it now. This pot's a cooking. All right, get some pressure on that with the cable tie. And now I'm going to work on fluffing this up. So I'm just going to take it, rotate it to the back. We're going to take our time and get all the loops their own space so we get a lot of nice dimension here going. Okay. Y'all, the only thing is when you turn the glue pot hotter, it seems to stink more. I like to let it coast to heat, not go flaming to heat. 0 to flames. All right, so pull this back a little so you get that nice center. Stephanie wants to know, do I ever use mesh? I don't, Stephanie. I just use silk flowers and greenery and all that. I do not use mesh anymore. I did back in the day. I did mesh wreaths, but I always didn't like them. So I kind of did it begrudgingly when they were so popular. Mesh was new. I've been doing this for 25 years. We're going on 26. And when mesh was pretty new and people discovered they could make wreaths out of it, I actually had to. When I was on the craft show circuit, I had to use them. But I always would make the mesh base and then put flowers on top of it. So to me, it was always just like a ton more work to do all that. But now I just don't use it. I enjoy this, and I got to where my customers wanted all silk flowers. I put the plaid in the middle. So like today, we got this really super cool base with the all the corn husk on it, and it has artificial wheat in it. I mean, how fun is that? You know, because if you use real wheat, I don't know if you've ever worked with dried flowers, guys. There was a time when I was super into dried flowers because that was the trends. So sometimes if there is a trend, you might find yourself having to go that direction again because it is what people want. So if you use real wheat, if it's not preserved right, it has a tendency to shed and a mess. Look how pretty this is on here. Oh my gosh, it's just perfect. So this is going to be our bow. We're going to use in just a little bit. But right now, we're going to get all our other things in place, okay? So let's get going. Now, I'm going to try to make this facing you guys. You know I normally design on a wreath base, but tonight I'm doing it flat on the table. So what we're going to do is start here. Kathy, hopefully the notifications will go out soon. Sometimes they don't go out on time. We have no control over that, but Nicole sends them out. Hopefully you'll get it next time earlier. So with each of these, you've got to take and shake hands with them. I want to get those leaves spread out. I want to get these berries spread out. We're going to do that with all 3 of these pieces. So that's, once again, it seems like a silly part of the process, but it's real important. Look at all the love. Thank you for the love. You're so awesome. All right, everybody's spread out. Now let's start to get these in how I want to place them. We're going to need our wire cutters, and we're doing good over here. I'm going to turn this down so it doesn't start to blow. Okay, yay! We cooked up some glue. Good job. Woo! Thank God I remembered before we got through it. You love the traditional colors, Deb? Yeah. So we need to plan for a bow zone. So I'm going to let the bow sit right here, okay? So let's take, and let's just place these in without gluing to start with, okay? I want to kind of get good placement. Let's put the bow in. Sure, can I talk about my fall subscription box? So, Stephanie, I have 2 different subscriptions at all time, and they're both seasonal subscriptions, meaning that they change depending on the time of year. So we have a greenery subscription that comes out monthly. You'll get the greenery for the season we're in. So right now it's fall. We have what we call our BBB box, 4B box. And it's the blooms, berries, buds, and branches. And that is a floral subscription box. And it comes out once a month also. And it is also seasonal. So in the spring, it's spring flowers. Right now it's gorgeous fall collections. And the thing about my boxes is they're coordinated to go together. So any of the subscription boxes are, the things can make, we might have 2 different looks going on per box, or we might have 1 look going on for the box. But last month's box people went nuts for. It was fall also, and they loved it. So if you need any information, some of the boxes are sold out right now. We have a wait list if we don't have any available, but just let us know in the comments which box you'd be interested for, and we can post the links to them. And you can sign up or grab a spot on the wait list. We all have a limited number each month. So I'm just placing these in. And guys, you have to go with the flow of your design, okay? We can't just back up and go a different direction. So I see people make this mistake all the time. So once we know the flow is going this way, which is, I didn't have to even choose because that's the way my wreath base came, then I need to make sure the berries in that go that way. So I don't want to do this. No, no, no. Kelea will have a stroke. I'll stroke out. No, once you have a flow going, then you stick with it, okay? Now let's get the last one in. I just want to make sure they're equally spaced and there's room for the bow, and I'm happy. This one might have to go down a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and glue these all in each section. Now, you may need to tie them in if you can't get them into the wreath, but I'm going to try first to glue them. Okay, happy with that. And take the bow out for a little bit. Oh, Pat says the boxes are always full of goodies. You'll love them. Yay! Thank you, Pat. I work really hard to make them neat and different and fun. So, okay, guys, now we're ready to glue in. So I just gave that a little swirl in the pot, and now we're going to press it in the base. Okay, number 1's going in, and I want to work it around here. Hey, Brenda. Sorry you got hacked earlier today. Hopefully that got fixed. Jeez. I'm telling y'all, sometimes that's a pain, isn't it? All right, let's bring in the next one right in here. I'm going to press it in. Trying to get it in the grain of the wreath here. There we go. You want to feel it go in and just put it right between and spread these out. I love how muted this is. Oh, it's been a rough week. All right, let's put the next one in. Stay with the flow. Keep it going down. I'm going to pick this spot right here. There's a little wire there that I'm going to poke it under. Hopefully that's not too low. Let me bring it back. Let me bring it up a little bit because I know that bow's got to go. I took the bow out so you guys can see a little bit better, but we want this to be a little bit bigger so the bow can pop in there, okay? And spread that all around. Oh, you're interested in the boxes, Karen? Okay. Karen, on TikTok, if you could email info@keleas.com, we can give you the link. It won't let us post links while we're live on TikTok. So info@keleas.com, and we'll give you the links to both boxes, okay? All right, there you go. Now, okay, that looks pretty. You don't have to add more, but I really need to bring in that orange color because this is what we're doing with the bow, okay? I've got the muted color coming, but now we need to bring in the beautiful orange that we're going to use the other 2 bushes for, okay? So let's grab those and get them all prepped and ready to go. So what we're going to do is, this is a nice hand wrap bush, and we can take and just tear it. You're welcome. You're welcome. You guys, anytime you have a question, if you're not getting an answer, you know, with just asking through our Facebook or YouTube or that, we have people helping answer questions, but if for some reason you need us, just email info@Keleas.com, info@Keleas.com. Oh, Deborah, the bow recipe, I did it at the beginning of the video, and it's a 3-2-1-1, and it's a got a bow tie on the front. Okay, I'm just tearing these, and then all you need to do after that is just get these tails nice and neat, because you don't want to be trying to put in weird, what I'm saying is cut that nice and neat right there. You don't want it sticking way out, guys. It's going to look weird if you do that. Ah, hey, Michaela. There's the email, info@Keleas.com. Y'all, if y'all have questions or you need an exact link, you're like, I don't feel like looking for it, Keleas. No problem. We're here to help. Okay, so each of these, we're going to use 2 of these per section. Now, we've got a bow going here in a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 4 to start with. And I'm not going to put any out of the bow till we work on that area, guys, because it's real important. If you're in design school, you know I will teach you to do, I call it, let's merchandise around the bow. We'll do that kind of towards the end of our design, and we're going to do that same thing today. So I'm putting that one in, and we want to make sure to integrate it right in. Hey, Pamela, yes, I was gonna tag you later. Pamela has this wreath base, and she was asking, where's the video on it? And it's like, I totally had one planned, but I hadn't done it yet. So you read my mind, Pamela. And we're going to have a supply list for the completed project when we're done, guys. So if you want to make it exactly as pictured, you can. And like I said, when I start the videos and the first day they come out, we have the supplies, but I can't guarantee how long we will have them. Okay, you see how pretty that makes it? Oh my God. This is so pretty, y'all. Okay, let's layer it in, shake hands with it, and let's put this one in here. And I'm watching where I'm going. I'm going in between pieces of the grapevine, and then making sure it's in there nice and tight. And it's layered in. I'm not just putting it on top. Make sure you're kind of sandwiching it. Okay, awesome, Pamela. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you got it. All right. This is the bow zone, but I'm going to put a couple underneath, and then we'll put the bow in a second. Let's put one in underneath. So I'm going to tuck this one right under there, and I'm still going in the same direction, y'all, that I've been going the whole time, okay? You can't change. Once you commit, you're in for that way. So this is going to kind of come out. All right. And then I'm going to have one come down, then we'll put that bow in. And that still leaves us a couple. I love this green and orange. It's just, whew, that is doing it. That's pretty. Okay, this one I'm going to put a little bit lower because we can skip a little area there because the bow. We don't need to hide anything. Okay, so let me put it back the way we started so you guys can see the shape coming to life. Pamela, it comes on a grapevine base. So if you got you might have gotten the swag. I'm not sure if you got the swag, but this is the wreath base. We also have this available in the swag, but I don't know if there's any left. If you have it in the swag, that's all we've got left of them. Okay, let's come in here and let's put the bow on. See how pretty it's looking? Bow zone right here. I'm going to pop that in. And let me pull a little of this to the inside and a little to the outside so I don't just hide it all in the bow zone there. This is turning out so pretty. So let me put my bow in. I'm going to kind of come up a little higher here. And I'm going to work it into the grapevine. Or try. Here it comes. Okay, Pamela, you got 2 swags in the grapevine. Okay, perfect. Then you're good. This one we made on the grapevine base. This is not the swags today. But you could cut those swags apart too if you wanted to use them in something else. Because they're pretty cool. They got the same material on them. Okay, let's fluff this guy out and get him all positioned since he got all squashed here. Let's pull him up. So pretty. Now, let me turn it towards me for a second. I'm going to work on these tails, and then I'll get back to you guys in just a second. Because I like to layer the tails and pull them down through and tuck them in and around. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness. And then let's bring these to here. Okay. And I'm going to take now and curl up the center ribbons. And I'll turn it back around. You guys, if you're needing the supply list, if you go to Keleas.com and you click on supply list, it'll be the very first project on there on Keleas.com. Now let's turn it around. I'm not done. I'm not done yet. Hey, Shauna. Okay, so this is how it's going to hang. This is the top, and that's going to hang down there. Now let this kind of overlap the bow a little. And now we're going to take our magical greeneries and we're going to pop them in around the bow. I might thin them out just a little here by pulling a few. And let's tuck them in around our bow. Make it look super cute. Take this one and just push it right up in there. Ah, yes. Right in the center. I love that. Now I'd like a little bit more kind of coming from the top here. That would be cool. I hope you guys are enjoying this. It just got that really natural look. You guys, if you're enjoying this and you want more tutorials, you want to learn more like this, we would love to have you in our design school class. It'll be opening up soon again for the fall season. So grab a spot on our wait list. Head over to KeleasDesignSchool.com and grab a spot on it, and we'll email you when we are open again for new students. But we are about to be starting Christmas soon also, and we've been doing Halloween and fall for quite a while now, and it is so much fun to teach you guys how to do designs. Whether we're doing like hacks like this, where we're kind of taking and using a base, or we're just building it from scratch, step by step. You learn the placement, you learn how to coordinate colors, put things together, how to match those greeneries. Ah, it's so much fun. Oh, Kenitha, you got on the wait list for design school? Yay, awesome. Man, you are on the ball. Way to go. All right, I am just taking these now and just kind of doing a little, just wherever I want to see a little more pop of orange, I'm popping them in. And you can split this down to as small as you want and get as more intricate or leave it kind of clustered, whatever you like. Okay, let me get this one in and I'll give you guys all a kind of an angled look at it. And then you'll be seeing tomorrow, I'll be posting TikToks and Reels and that with the finished look. When I get, hopefully it won't be raining too much tomorrow, I can get a good picture. I mean, we needed the rain, so I'm not complaining. But I can show you guys how it looks, because I think it's going to photograph really good. Such a pretty combination. Okay, fluff out that bow one more time. You can go a simple bow too, especially if you sell to people who are not a ribbon people. You could back off the loops on here, just go like a 2-1. And I think that would be really pretty also. But here she is, guys. Oh my gosh. She turned out just really pretty. Really pretty. Oh man, I love this one. It turned out so great. Really easy. We whipped that out pretty quick together. And I know you can do it too. You can do it too. We are going to make one of those elegant, kind of flowing fall wreaths. And we're going to make it on this really neat wreath base. This is all going to come in a kit for you. Easy for you to grab. One click and grab the whole kit. The neat thing is this has a little cavern in it. So I kind of teased you. We've taken out the liner and we're going to design right in here using floral foam. So if you've never done that before, you're going to come want to watch because this is so fun. We're going to use some of the tips and tricks we do in design school, and it's going to give you a sneak peek behind the curtain. I think you are going to love it. So get in here. Hey, and if you're not on our email list, you're going to want to get a spot on there. So drop email in the comments and we'll send you a link where you can sign up. That way you won't miss any of our videos. And we give out some true value on our email list where you can click
and go to our blog on our website and see all the fun projects we have. You are going to love it. So guys, this is our latest kit we've got out for you, and it comes with the wreath base. And this one is so different and fun, and it makes a really flowing, elegant design. This kit's also going to come with some of this beautiful kind of a fern that gives you this really dried look. Then one of my favorite greeneries. This greenery is excellent because it's got those deep, rich tones of fall in there. We're not popping a whole lot of orange in this design. We are sticking with more neutrally pumpkins, so they're coming. And look at the beautiful greenery that's in the same beautiful colors. I mean, is it screaming fall? And we've got a few pumpkins in. They're also going to come in the kit. And look how gorgeous these are. So this combo is going to be excellent. I'm going to show you how to make it. All right, so as we get in here to this design, we're going to start off by deciding what side of the wreath we want the design to be on. And for me, I generally like it on the left side. So I'm going to rotate this around and do it like this so that this flow can come down. And I am going to kind of tilt it just a little bit. So when I'm working with it, I'm going to have it just like that. Now, the next thing I want to do is put some floral foam in the cavity, the open part. So the way I like to put that in is I cut some blocks that can just tuck right in here, right? A little tight, but just tucking in. And we're going to glue those in, and then we're also going to wire them in with some floral pins. I'm going to do that first. And we're going to put these both in. In design school, we love to work with foam as well. When you are originally learning how to design, foam makes it pretty forgiving and easy to go into the space. Like foam makes it just easy. And if you go in, you can always pull it out and change it around. Once you glue it, it's pretty permanent. But I think you'll like designing on foam if you've never done it. So I want to make sure I'm not going back too far. So far, these are just put in with, oh, excuse me, I'm trying to throw it off, with hot glue pressing in. Now, grab your floral pins, and floral pins are a U-shaped pin like this. They're something we use all the time in designing. And I'm going to kind of go from the sides and around the back, and I'm going to make sure that I am securing these through the vine as well, because I want it to make sure they don't wiggle out. I just take and pop these in. Now, if you end up where you can see the pin a little from the outside, a brown Sharpie can get that silver just hiding for you. Just put a little bit of that over the outside. Let me get this right in here. And try to go through where you had the glue already, because that'll hold it in place. If not, dip this in glue before you go in between. I'm going to do that a few places here. There you go. Keleas Blue Merino's design school students will tell you that I'm an over secure. Like I like to get things where they're made really well to hold up. And that just comes from my history of doing craft shows for 17 years and traveling around with my work and knowing the better I construct it from the beginning, the better it holds up. Because you weren't necessarily going to sell out at the first show you went to. And that stuff was going to have to go with you to your next show and continue down the road. The type of shows I did. So it was really, really important to me that my work held up, of course. I needed it to hold up. Plus, I wanted my customers to be coming back next time I was in town, that we came through. And so now selling online, the same thing. I want them to love our work, come back. I want you to love learning from me and know that what I'm teaching is kind of tried and true. It's tested on the road and in all the places. Okay, let me press this last one in. I think we're going to get it. I love that these vines are tight because they will help hold that well. So our foam is in, and that makes it so easy now to start building up this base. You're going to love it. So we're going to grab our fern in here, and this is called a phoenix tail fern, and you'll see why. It's going to open up so pretty. And when you open up the little cute tie on there, you will find that it has these 3 built-in sections. So that makes it so nice to start kind of setting up our design. So I'm going to put my first few pieces in. These are going to be the longest pieces on the design. In design school, we'll call that setting the perimeter. It's where we want to take and decide how big we want this to be. And I always want things to be big and beautiful and bold. And I'm a big believer in making pieces that stand out. So I'm going to put this first piece in. And you can see I went way off, way up. And that's fine. You just have to be able to have enough supplies to bridge the gap between those lines. So I love when my students grasp that and they get to create these gorgeous lines on their pieces, because that's literally what's going to set you apart in your work. That it's not just one cluster of things, it is some beautiful lines created. So here comes this one on the bottom. You can see I already started that, right? Now let's take and add some other pieces of this in, kind of creating a little separation. On every one of these bushes, there's one of these that's super big. So I take and just cut that in half. If you've never done that before, you can take a bush or a stem and trim it down to sizes that work for your container or your design. And the things we sell, they have really nice strong wires, and that's going to allow you to be able to separate them up easy. So we're going to use the 3 pieces here at the top, and then I'm going to cut into the second bush, and we're going to use a little bit more down here at the bottom. So I'm already creating my perimeter, and I love that. I'm going to take up this little raffia. All right. Now let me find my other big piece in here. There it is. And we'll separate into 2. So we're kind of doing mirror image at the top and the bottom. Y'all, if you've never tried floral design for your own stress relief and creating, you're going to absolutely love it. It is so fun. And I know some people are afraid to invest in everything you need for the hobbies. And that's okay, because here we literally love for you to we have kits set up, so you don't have to have you don't have to have everything. You're just going to need some hot glue, which you could use a glue gun. I use a glue skillet. You're going to need some hot glue, and you're going to need some wire cutters and some scissors. Other than that, you don't have to have all the things I'm showing. Some floral pins would be nice, but you could cut wire to make your floral pins. Like, you don't have to have everything to get started in the hobby. You can just grab a kit from us and then start creating. A lot of things I can tear down. Some things I do have to cut with the wire cutter. But something like this is about a $15 investment, and you can use it in your home anyway. You probably already have a glue gun. So when you see me stick my sticks into the glue pot over here and twirl them around, you'll just be pulling the trigger, putting a little glue on each stem before you put it in if you already have a glue gun. I'd love for you to try this particular hobby, because if you love plants, you love having decor in your home, I think you would be surprised how little it takes to get started. And you do not need to buy every ribbon. You do not need to buy every greenery. Literally, we have kits set up to get you started. So you'll use everything in that kit. There'll be nothing left over to weigh down your craft room or have so much supplies. It is an excellent way to kind of get into this hobby if you do other hobbies already, and see if you like it, because it's truly fun, and you can make something for yourself. You don't have to immediately start selling these pieces, right? You could just enjoy the process. But I love creating, and it's just very relaxing. It's one of my favorite things to do, is get in here and just start creating with you guys. Now, while I've been talking, I pushed up this bush. So this is a normal bush right here. And then we call these pushers because we can make them more clustered and chunky like this, or we can leave them long. And I like to do a little bit of both in my designs. So this one I pushed up short. So we'll use that kind of more in the interior of the design. And the one I left long, which I could pull these back down too if I want them long, the long pieces we're going to use out to the perimeter. So we're still setting our perimeter with our secondary greenery here, and we're going to bring it in. All right, I trimmed that off the bush, and now I'm going to take and stagger these right here in between. You're just kind of bridging the gap between the greeneries. And this is where a kit comes in so handy, because I've already used my expertise to put the colors together for you to create the depth and all that kind of stuff. So you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, Kelea, is that greenery going to go with this? I know when you get on our website, there's so many pieces, it's hard to figure out, oh my gosh, what goes with what? Well, that's one nice thing about getting a kit, especially when it first comes out, because we've got everything in stock that coordinates, that looks so gorgeous together. You've already seen it in action. I think it really helps you kind of get your your foundation for the design laid out. Okay, now we really worked on that beautiful kind of trending greenery that just comes out and expands and flows. I think that is just gorgeous. I'm going to trim this piece down a little bit. I'm going to go out here to the outside. If I left it super long, the problem would be is I would lose the dimension here where we're going to change direction on these florals. So I have to keep it shorter. Otherwise, I'm way out here, which is okay. It's just going to take more material. We're going to keep our material, to a limit to where we don't lose the shape of the design. So I trimmed that one down. Isn't that looking great? Okay, next move is let's get our pumpkin stem in. Because even though it's a primary factor in here, we need it to be kind of in the background, and we want leaves and other greenery to work around it. So this particular stem is one of those that breaks into sections pretty nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and divide it out. If you've never broke down a stem with me before, this is good because I get so much out of this. So for the price of this one stem, I'm getting like 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. So sometimes stems are a better purchase just for that fact, because you can get a lot more out of them. I think this is going to make 5. So I'm going to trim them all down here into their own little sections. I'm going to try. There's that one. And so the reason I keep them in sections, so I keep this main thick wire that can go into the foam really easily. You'll notice here we don't use pick machines. I'm not big on pick machines because pick machines are great when you're using like really inexpensive materials and you have the time to take and pick out each piece to get that little spike on it. But a pick machine to me is not necessary when you use higher quality materials, because they already have a nice wire, a nice stem, and you're not spending extra time. When I used to have a lot of high volume sales on Etsy of wreaths, there was no time for me to be taking something cheap and really cutting it down into little bitty pieces and picking it. So I eliminated that part of the process, and we started to really choose materials to work with in our shop that were really well made and that were easy to work with. And that meant that strong base wire. So I'm clustering up the 2 pumpkins right here at the center of the design. And we're going to have them kind of snuggle each other because I love that look where they kind of come up here together. We'll just kind of angle them, wiggle them around, see how pretty that looks. I'm watching my berries so they're opposite and they work that line. Our primary line we had already started. So I'm going to go right behind it with this one. And you guys, if you love this design and you can follow the way I teach, we'd love to have you in design school where every week you're getting new designs. You're getting new collections that go together. We're teaching pieces that coordinate. So you get a really cohesive look in your home, and you learn to use all your supplies that you purchase. So there's not a whole lot left over, and it gives you options of, what you want to create within a collection. And I love that for you. Because it's my 7th year of design school, I was a teacher also in real life. I have had time to develop my curriculum and my style of teaching and all of that. And I really feel like if you just give it a chance, you'll be shocked how you can learn these principles and really put them into play in your designs pretty quickly. So you can see how it's layering up really pretty. I'm going to continue with my last leaf over here and go right behind the berries. Berries! There we go. And look how pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, now it's time to add our leaves in because our leaves are going to add the depth of color. It's going to pick up this color in the green and orange. So these got to go in next. So I'm going to do the same thing with these. You're going to just separate them into sections. And then we'll trim these right down. We're going to get them cut. I'll cut right here. So this has that little end on it. So a lot of times you can tear down stems too. But in this case, if I tear these down, I'm going to end up with a lot of little pieces. And I really prefer them to already be clustered. So this is already clustered. I didn't have to do extra work. It's already ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to put this one in first, a little longer piece. And we're going to go right in here, kind of layering it on top of the green and the brown, kind of in between. I'm staggering them where they have a little bit of overlap, and that looked great. And these berries in here, whoo, so pretty. Let me cut down the other bush too so I can get everybody to match. I left these two together at the top. You could have done a smaller one there, but I think leaving them together gives you a little more length on that. Y'all, this is so fun. This is so pretty. Let's bring this one. I'm going to work opposite. So this one's going to come down and layer between my green and my brown down here. We're creating that depth. So I'm getting a little bit of brown in the back. Yeah. Oh. Now that's tying it in so good with the wreath base. I love it. All right, now let's work in and around. I'll cut some of these a little shorter just because I want to tuck them in further, especially right here where we've got our transition. We change direction, so I got to keep this short. Remember, I can't have that shooting out or it's not going to tuck in as a good transition. I'm going to take this one and go to the inside. So just kind of going on the opposite side of where we just went. Let me come around and look at it from this way. Oh, yeah. And I'm layering in where those light leaves are kind of, some are in the front, some are in the back. See, it's just kind of layering it in. I love it. Now, this piece has a little bit of twig to it. I'm going to use it right in there. And we're going to put these opposite each other too. So I get that cool little branch. Oh, yes. See how much depth that added? I love it. And then this one, I'm going to go right in here on the right. I think right here. Now, I'm, of course, giving you the structure and I'm teaching you how I'm doing it. But remember, that one of the greatest things about being the designer, you can do it however you want. You don't have to follow my directions at all. You have control. I can get you started and you can have the inspiration and then you go to town. You can go to town. So now we're doing that detail work. This is the depth again. We come back to the foreground with some of the colors we use in the back and we are going to rock that out. So I'm going to take this one and break it down and do a couple of sections. This is the lighter color fern and so far it's only in the background. So I like to save a little of it and bring a little bit more forward in this particular type design. All kind of different ways to design, different structures, different looks, styles. And on this one, I love to layer it up. So I'm going to bring this one. Now that one will be more in the front. Okay, let's work a little bit opposite up there. And these little pieces are all wired. So you'll see me take and you'll see me give them motion. That's so they look real. I don't want them flat. Y'all, you've got to give them motion and movement. All right, we've got one more. I'm going to come to the inside right here with this one. A little touch here coming out of the middle. Perfect. And then how about one more kind of coming out of that top right up there? Make sure you're hitting them all with glue. That's what we got so far. Isn't it looking great? All right, we are on our last piece, and that's our greenery, the one we pushed up. We've only used like one piece of it. So this one we did push it up quite a bit. So these are little clusters that we're going to use as what we call filler. And the filler is the material that comes in to fill in the holes. But to me, it's really important that it continues to add the depth of color and that fluidness through the whole design. So I'm going to start and go for the holes first. So right here, I've got a hole where I can kind of see into the mechanics. That's where we're working. So I'm going to put one there. And then I've got one down low here. Just tuck this one in. I'm just covering up things right now. See, they're little clusters, little fun clusters. Now some up above the pumpkins. And you're going to find most of these are going to need to just be tied to the center here and bringing that color, that green color in here. Because remember, we used it out already. We've got it out here. So just pop it in the middle. But I'm also doing a double duty. I'm covering up, seeing into the foam. It's a big deal to me to see glue, foam, cable ties, wire, anything mechanical to your design. We're trying to hide that from almost every angle we can. It's important to me to look professional, to be able to charge a higher value, like just a higher perceived value, because the construction is well done. It's not just thrown together. It is really thought about. The process is structured and layered. Even though this looks like a bunch, you just kind of gathered a bunch of beautiful florals and put them together, you can see when we're done, those lines prevail. That look comes together so nicely. And I think you're going to be pretty blown away that you can do it. I know you can.
Oh my goodness, Blue Merinos, look what we're going to make today. This gorgeous wreath. Yeah, it looks like a gorgeous fall, really neutral color design. But it's not just a wreath for your door. Guess what? We're going to make it together, and it is going to be an epic candle ring for a really big, like 6-inch candle. This here is a battery operated one, and it works great right in the center of this. And yep, I'm going to show you how to make it. This all comes in a kit right here from Keleas.com. So you can easily put this together just like I'm doing step by step. And when you buy the kit, we send you a link to the video, so you won't have to worry about hey, how do I find this video again, Kelea? You will have it in the kit, and you can come back and make it with me step by step. So the first thing we would do, just like in design school, is we're going to do what we call set our perimeter, and that's what we're going to do with this really pretty lantern spray. And I love it because it has a whole bunch of twigs on here, which gives us all this dimension. Now we're going to use the smaller wreath base that is perfect for our candle to go in. And with these, you can just tear them down to start prepping them to put on, and it makes it super duper easy. And I'm going to cut off this top one, and then we can work on going all the way around our perimeter. Y'all, lately I know there's been a lot of folks who've been having a lot of trials with weather issues and life issues and health issues, and you may be one of those people right now that I'm talking with. And I hope that when you're here, you find some peace and comfort, knowing that you're going to get back to your craft and you're going to get back to what you love the very, very most when you have time and you're able to. So I want to encourage you, when times are tough or things are out of your control, to remember, hey, I'm going to go escape into my craft room and create something beautiful, because that's literally what crafting is about, and creating. So I just want to encourage you, no matter what you're going through, you'll get back in there, you'll get to play again. And it's a great therapy to be creating, you know, to do this for yourself. And of course, you know, I have turned this into a business, but it's okay if you just want to enjoy it as a hobby. It is totally all right. Now you can see, once I cut all those pieces down, my next objective is to take and just trim up the wires a little bit on the bottom, keep them really neat, and curl up these little twigs. I love the daintiness of these twigs. I don't know if you can see that, but that's going to be a big asset when we get ready to work with these, because they're going to help bring in that twiggy background to the foreground of the design. And that always makes things more cohesive looking, more depth in your design. And I love it. Just going to take and get that. One of these flowers bit the dust. I'm going to pull that out. And let's trim these two down too. So I kind of got them all uniform length by trimming them down here. And it'll be ready to start to make our perimeter. All right, so now we're going to do that perimeter where we take and set it. So I'm going to give these a swirl in the glue, and then we're going to start to just work around to the outside of our design. I find it easy just to grab a piece. Let me bring these over here and spin it around. And I've got my glue skillet right here. And I'm just bringing these in and working my way all the way around. So we get a nice outside set. Now, your kit doesn't come with Spanish moss, but if you have any around, the Spanish moss, if you just make some little bitty balls of it, it can help hold your pieces in place. So I'm just making a little ball, putting it in there, and you can utilize that anywhere you're seeing a lot of glue or your piece is in an area that's a little more open. I love to use Spanish moss for that. But we're going to try to get these in where we have enough tension with the wreath. But if you don't, that's when it comes to the rescue. That's one of my staple wreath making tools. Besides wire cutters and my 18 gauge wire, I also am going to need Spanish moss on hand at all times. All right, we're going to work our way around. Man, let me get a little moss on this one. Sometimes if my glue gets a little unruly, those little bits help hide it. If you need to fill in a bigger space, I'm going to get a bigger wad of it, like to make a larger ball and put that in there. See how we kind of wiggle through? That's important to create that little bit of a tension. All right, let me move these aside a little bit. And if you wanted to make this bigger, you have a larger candle, what you're going to need to do is get a couple of kits so you can double up on the supplies. And this one only comes with a 10-inch wreath base, but you can always, if you had 2 kits, you could use the 10-inch wreaths for something else and substitute like a 14-inch wreath base. So if you need something bigger, you can accommodate that by getting a couple of kits. Okay, let me just cover up my glue right here. A little bit of pieces. Here's a little twig that was in the moss. I'll add that in. Why not? The pieces here. All right, let me show you what we got. Okay, so you can see we've come way off the base. So we started at 10 inches here, and we're a good, we're probably a good 8 more inches. So this wreath is pushing 24 inches now, all the way to the outside, okay? Which is beautiful for a table, and it's going to be just the right scale for our big chunky candle. And we put this guy in here. So you don't want to make it too little. All right. So now we're ready to add our next layer. And our next layer is these really cool poppy pods. And I love this because these have a little bit of a lighter colored greenery. And they have this little grass and of course the beautiful poppy pod. All that's going to add excellent texture on here. So I'm going to take this and just tear this right down. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. And then we're going to trim all these off. So I'm going to do that and move my wreath out of the way, and we're going to prep these. Y'all, I've been meaning to tell y'all, as you know, I keep struggling with different health issues with my body and getting older. I always want to give you encouragement too, to find something you love doing. At least I love my job here and teaching you all how to make these things. I should say y'all. What the heck? I'm from Texas. Why am I not saying y'all? I love teaching you this, and I'm so thankful that you're a viewer and you come and watch and you want to learn more and you enjoy creating. Even if you never create and you just come and watch, I appreciate it so much. And any creative, if they're on the social medias, how much that means to them if you're watching and interacting and commenting on the videos and taking action, liking, sharing, all that kind of stuff. I want to assure you that matters a whole lot, and we are very, very thankful for that. So even if it's, you know, of course I appreciate it for me, but doing it for someone else is so wonderful and such a blessing. So I try to do that for my favorite YouTubers I like to watch, or my favorite folks on TikTok, or here on Facebook as well. Wherever they are, I appreciate them, because I couldn't live in my dream without you. So know you're appreciated. I just want to make sure I remind you of that, and try to do that for others as well if you can. It doesn't cost a dime to just interact with their videos. So see, I took and broke it down. We just have all the green pieces over here and all the pods over here. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to equally distribute them around our whole circumference of our wreath. So all the way around. So I'm going to bring this back to the center, and we're going to use this one first, the greenery, okay? The reason we're doing that is we want to layer the colors to have a little depth, okay? This is the type of stuff I teach in design school, and we practice what we preach. Now, if you want to practice kind of laying it out here, we can just lay it on top to get an idea, and then we can come back and glue it. Just to kind of give you an idea of where everybody would go and get pretty good spacing. So basically 3 on half, 3 on the other half. Simple as that. So we laid it out. Now, here's where the magic comes into play. When I get ready to put it in, I'm going to give it a little twist up, okay? The florals we sell on Keleas.com always have a nice wire. I'm really adamant about that. So you're going to see a lot of depth and texture capability, because we can give them a bend. So we're going to go around doing that with a little bit of bend on all these guys. I might have bent that one a little heavy. A little heavy bend. You come down a little bit, buddy. Happy. That stem was wired. Alright, let's bring this one in here. This is just paper off a stem. Just get it out of your way whenever it gets in your way. Now, once again, if that glue gets unruly and more in the front here, grab some more of your Spanish moss. You grab a whole handful here. I'm just using my little bits right now, so it's a little flaky. I need to restock my moss on the workbench. A little bit right here. But I saved those little pieces too, because they'll work for this. All right, come on, let's put the next piece in. Give it a swirl in your glue, and then we're going right in right here. Excellent. A little bit of moss on there. And I do want to move those up, like get some motion. There we go, beautiful. And we're kind of working them in between our lanterns. A little bit of overlap, but working them in between. Pretty. And here's one more right here. You see how pretty this is, and really not that difficult. Just takes a little patience to prep the material. And we're gonna space this out and give them all a little bit of motion. I'm gonna pull a little of the twigs to the inside on those lanterns, because I want to make sure we're not hiding that. And that twig is coming forward, because it's always my favorite part. Ask those KDS bloomeritos in design school. I'm telling you, they know I love a good twig. I like real twigs, fake twigs, artificial twigs. We can make twigs. I love them all. Okay, look how pretty. Beautiful layered up. Now, easy enough, we're going to go in between each one of those with our pods here. Okay, just go in between each one. And these I'm going to work a little bit more towards the center. Okay, they have a pretty leaf, so I like that leaf working on the grapevine. You can just rotate this around. We're going to go in between each green one. All right, push it in. Beautiful. And you see how that's laying on top, and now that's really effective because we're bringing in the lighter color. Now, it's no accident that lighter color is in the background. When you get a kit from us, guys, all the hard rough work is done. Like the color coordination is all ready for you to rock and roll on your design. And that's some of the hardest part And eventually I'd love for you to learn, you know, how to do that in design school. But while you're getting started and you're wanting to explore and experiment with different designs, I would love for you to get one of our kits and give it a try. You're going to be shocked what you can do on your own with a great starting foundation. This one is sitting up high. Come on, buddy, go down a little bit. There you go. You can bend that wire. And we just want to make sure it's just all curving around real beautifully. I'm also a big stickler on the leaves. I want to make sure I get that front of the leaves facing forward. And I'm going to go down in here, push that in. Beautiful. We keep working around. Here we go. Let's push it in here. Nice. Just keep going in between. Got two more. That's going to work perfect. And I always have to kind of go behind with the longer stem where it's going to be falling in the wreath, because I want it to fall over here between these two. Oh, that looks really pretty. All right, once I get all of these in, I have 2 twigs left. And they're like little grasses. They're not actually twigs, they're grasses. Oh, these are so stinking pretty. I love them on there. Okay, this is like a wheat grass. We had 2 that came on the pod, so I want you to look around and see where you might have not as much grass. I feel like our grass is great over here, but we could use them more over here. So we're going to kind of fill in with these, and they're going to go in the background right next to where we put in the original lantern sprays in the back. All right, let's put this one a little further down. I'm going to trim it a little bit. If you get a kind of a janky stem, just trim it down. Let's go. Are you catching the spirit yet? Oh, I know. It's hard when it's 90 degrees out here in Houston. It's hard to catch the spirit of the season, but it's coming. Eventually it's coming here. Depending when you watch this, it might already be there. But if not, you can make this too for, you know, any season really. But if you have this color palette, it doesn't even have anything fall in it. It's just kind of that color palette. Look how beautiful, guys. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Now, our last step, we're going to use these little berry clusters. And this is because I like to use a detail piece more to the center in here. And this is kind of not that impressive of a spray, but when you push these leaves up and you make these little berry clusters, it's really kind of cool. Until you do that, you're like, what is this? But once I make them into clusters like this, they are adorable. So I'm going to push up every one of these, and you get 4 bushes in this kit. Y'all, and if you are not on our text list and you're enjoying this video, grab a spot on it, because what we do on the text list is we text out when new videos come out and new content is ready for you. And of course, when we have new kits and new goodies that are available, we're going to promote all of that with our text list. So we'd love for you to be on it. You can go to textkelea.com, textkelea.com, or you can just text us the word VIP, like the letters VIP, to 832-734-5201. That's my text number. And send us VIP, and we'll shoot you back a one-time coupon that you can use on your first order. And we'd love for you to give it a try. All right, I'm trimming all these off. Okay. So my bushes are all trimmed down. And now I'm going to take, and I'm just going to use them in 2s, and we're going to start to go around towards the center. So I'm going to load in my glue and just work in around the center, keeping these really wispy here in the middle. Oh yeah. And I'm going to use a couple at a time. I like them a little bit more clustered than loose. Alright, and we're just going to work backwards. We put that first one on, and then we're going to work backwards around the wreath. So this one lays over where the last one's glue was, okay? And that'll help camo all of that as you go along. Let's work our way around. Let's go. Okay, cute. My little cluster. Get a good amount on there. Y'all, my glue is unplugged, so I can bring it up here to y'all. So it's getting a little warm. I mean, a little cold. It means it's getting a little hard. Oh, but that's okay. I can heat it right back up if I need to. You love your little glue pot. It's so handy. I have a big one and a little one, depending what we are making. If we're making a bunch of wreaths to sell, then I got that big one out so we can rock and roll. When I'm doing videos, the smaller one's a little more convenient just because of its size here. You know, it doesn't take over the whole screen on camera. Oh, I love this berries towards the center. It rocks. Because it's totally just that little delicate touch here at the end of the design. So yeah, keep swirling them around. These pieces I put in first are cut a little bit longer. I'm gonna see if they'll work, but we may have to trim them down. Let's see if we have enough here. Okay, now I'm gonna go from there on this side now and just tuck this under this leaf. Put that in, just kind of bring that over. There we go. Yeah, we're making that work. I've got 2 more pieces to go. I think we'll be perfect. And if you're worried about your spacing, it's totally okay to just lay it out first and then glue it. We talk about that in design school a lot. Just because I've been doing something a long time, I don't have to do that extra step. But if I feel uncertain if I'm going to have enough or whatever, then it's absolutely fine to do. When you get more confident and you know you're going to be able to do it, then you can do it without the laying out first. It's fine. Oh my gosh, y'all, look how beautiful. I'm going to bring these poppy pods up a little bit. Holy moly. So cute. Look at the dimension on this. Look how just so beautiful it is. I will encourage you to check out the finished pictures on this. When you head to the website, you can see the finished pictures there of it all staged up. But let's do it. Let's put it in. Oh, check it out. That is gonna be perfect. Put her in, bring the berries up around the candle. We nailed it. I think this is so fun because not only can it be a wreath, it also can be a gorgeous candle ring. And this is a 6-inch pillar, so this is a big battery operated candle. And you know what? That looks just stunning. Hey, Blue Merinos, great to see you tonight. Kelea, I got a freestyle with you late tonight. I'm sorry I missed you earlier today. I still was fulfilling Kaya's birthday wishes today. And one of those things that little stinker wanted was help cleaning her room. So I was helping do that as a surprise before she got home. So I had to work right through a Freestyle Friday, but I'm ready to do it with you tonight. So come on in and let's enjoy it together. I'm going to pull up your comments too. So make sure you say hello. And later, if you're watching the replay, let us know that you're here on the replay. Hey, Sherry, great to see you. Fantastic. Let me turn my volume down, y'all. I thought I turned it down before, but, you know, didn't get it down. Hi, Ramona. Great to see you guys. I'm getting my glue pot going here. It's heating up. Wonderful. Hi, Jeanette. Yay. Wonderful. Caught me live. Y'all, this Wednesday, when we did our Bow Wednesday, here's what one of the bows we made, where we used the pretty white pumpkin ribbon. So I thought we'll do a swag tonight, all based off this design. So we're gonna have so much fun. Thanks, Cherie. Hi, Linda. So you guys, I wanna make sure you know, while I fluff out this swag base, I wanna make sure you know that next week is the Creative Pumpkin Challenge, hence the massive pile of pumpkins in the corner here, if you haven't noticed. So we'll be talking about it more, but we'll pop the link here in the comments in a second to join us. If you are a design school member, you get access to the Creative Pumpkin Challenge at no additional charge if you were a previous member. So if you would just check the group for that. But if you are new, you're just seeing us for the first time, or maybe you've been hanging around for a while and now you're like, hey, I want to come see what they're doing in the Creative Pumpkin Challenge, we'd love to have you. It's going to start next Thursday, and it's 3 days of fun. So please come join us. We're gonna have so much fun. Oh, Cherie, yes, that is the main project we're doing in the Creative Pumpkin Challenge.
But we've got other little bonuses coming too. Hi, Connie, welcome. You guys in design school, I would call this shaking hands. So with the swag, when they come, they kind of come all janky. You've got to fluff them out. So that's what I'm doing right now, y'all. Just fluffing it all out. So how's everybody's Fridays? Starting off strong, I hope. Kai was so happy her room was somewhat clean. You know how kids get it out of control? That's what happened. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Renee. How's it going, Janet? Hey, Mickey. All right, I'm going to fluff this dude way up. And get him all fluffed out. Spread out. Shake hands with each stem. Because you need it kind of to be flat on the back to lay nicely on somebody's doors. Right? Hi, CT. Good to see you. I loved your truck the other night. It looked really good. Hi, Tammy. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Oh, I'm going to fluff this out. Y'all, I have been planning and getting so excited about the Creative Pumpkin Challenge. It's just been, it's really fun to get all prepped and try to get ready to have a fun party where we can create together for several days. It's going to be a blast. I'm excited about it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We're going to be covering a lot of it up, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And you might notice I didn't bring a lot forward this time because I'm going to be adding a lot of fun things onto the front to fill it in. It did! That was really cute. CT, you guys, is a Halloween. He does big displays at his house for Halloween and for Christmas. So it's always fun to see what he's making too. Yeah, Dawn, you can't wait for the pumpkin challenge. Oh, I know, we're gonna have a blast. Okay, I saved the tag for that swag to tell you guys the item number. And of course, now I can't find it. It's the 30-inch swag. Nicole, I'm using the 30-inch one. So if you could grab the number and share it with everybody. Dang it. Y'all, you know. Hi, how you doing, Jackie? Oh, this one is this cool pod. Now, the whole inspiration for this particular swag is coming from the ribbon. We tied the bow on Wednesday. So you can go back and watch that video, our bow Wednesday. This is what we tied. You can see there's a lot of bright green. So a nice green in here mixed with a white pumpkin. So that's why I'm going to pick a brighter green as far as it goes. I'm going to put some of these pods in there. And these pods are item number 80360. All of this stuff is available at Keleas.com, guys. So I know I want to put some of these in. Oh, I found the item number for the swag. It's on the floor. Psych! The swag is 82363. All of these supplies are at Keleas.com, guys. Thank you for posting that. Oh, slacker. So I've got you're not a slacker, I'm a slacker. That sounded rude. Oh my gosh. It's laid for Kelea. It's laid for me. So I just fluffed this one right out. And I'm going to use a couple of these in here. I'm going to use two. So I'm thinking one kind of at the top. Kind of catty corner just a little bit right here. And I'm just going to use some of these pine to hold it in. I'm just zigzagging these to tie it in. And you can cut it if you want to. I'm just going to leave this because I don't think we're going to see it. But I'm going to attach it 3 different places. And then I'll tack a little glue on there just to hold it tight. Give it a lot of motion forward. Make sure you do that. You've been called worse. I know. I'm sorry. That sounded bad. I was referring to myself being the slacker. Oh. Okay. Y'all, yesterday was Kaya's birthday, and man, if you don't know, Kaya's my daughter, guys, and she had a volleyball game, and they won, so that was the best present. That was the best present, and she was so excited. Patricia, you drug out a wreath today. Oh, good. Good for you. I'm so happy, Patricia. Awesome. I love it. Getting creative. I love it. Well, hopefully y'all have your house all settled and
Maybe you've got the house projects under control. I know that they go and they go and they go. All right, I'm going to bring in another one. And this one I'm going to kind of go bring it kind of coming down. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. I love these pods. These are like a, I'm calling them pods, but they're like a thistle. And I like that you can use them different times of the year, but they're going to look great with this particular pattern. So I'm just zigzagging this in. I'm going to tuck this one kind of behind here. If you end up seeing a stem, we can always cut it out later, but in the meantime, I'm just going to try to camouflage it in there. I've got to camouflage it in. How you doing, Stacy? You got football tomorrow. Stacy is in design school, and she's a big Gators fan. What if any of you enjoy college football? Tell us who you root for. We'd love to hear who your teams are. Unless it's Alabama, I don't know if we want to know. No, I'm just kidding. You can tell. Hi, Glenda. All right, those are in. So I've kind of got them. You see how they're kind of making a little S? I like that in there. I like that little flow going on. Now I'm going to put in some eucalyptus. So let's get this going on. This is item number 80755. This is the brown green color. Georgie. Oh, when we're doing the doggy, Georgie. Yes. Yes, our cute dog. It'll be time to decorate for Halloween soon, and can't wait to get him out. I don't know what we named the dog. Well, we're giving everybody names. Oh, Patricia, you're going to get a she shed silo. Oh, that's nice. That's fun. I love that. I love that. That's cool. Ruth, yay! I'm so glad you're here. Becky, War Eagle, I like it. Not Bama. I just have to give the Alabama fans a little, you know, razz them a little. Hey, Tracy. Girl, I like them berries. That looked good. Jeanette, you never been into sports. I get it. No worries. My dad, of course, loves sports, and I used to be way more into it than I am now. I do the sport of wreath making, so we're pretty competitive in this realm. So I'm going to put a little bit of this eucalyptus in here and start getting a nice feel for my design. Tuck it in. You guys, I'm using a glue pot, so I just put it in some glue, dipped it in, and then we tucked it in there. Hey, Stacy! On the big screen? Whoop, whoop! I love it. Is Nate and Aaliyah going night-night? Are they up? Probably Nate's not going night-night. Nate is outgrown night-night. Go Gators! I knew you were Go Gators, Stacy. I knew it. All right, I'm going to go a little bit lower down here. You know, as far as it goes, whatever makes you happy, y'all. If you enjoy sports, you enjoy crafting, I'm just happy there's different strokes for different folks, and you can get some pleasure out of whatever it is that makes you happy. And I hope that involves making flower arrangements, or at least making wreaths and playing with them. You did, Jackie? You decorated your Christmas tree for fall? How fun! Oh, that's fun. Love, love, love that. We actually just put away the Christmas decorations. I did put them easily accessible to get them right back out. Oh, Roll Tide. There's one of them. Oh, that's okay. All right, I'm putting my eucalyptus in, and guys, I'm giving it lots of depth. I like that. I'm gonna use 2 bushes of this. You're a Sooners fan? Well, that's all right, Cindy. That's cool. Hi, Melody. Hi. Oh, hi, Angela. You hanging out with us? Awesome. Tracy, you jumped up and down and possibly squealed as soon as you found those berries. They look great. It's amazing. So, guys, to tell you what we're talking about. In design school, Tracy had made she had made a beautiful wreath, but it was kind of like needed some contrast. So she found some berries that were the perfect burgundy. I don't know if they're exactly berries or pods or flowers, but they looked perfect in there. So we were all really excited for her, because we thought, what are the chances she's going to find this perfect, you know, it was kind of like that burgundy Merlot color. It looked beautiful. I can't wait for you to sell it. Glenda says, go Tigers. That works. Hi, Debbie Davis. I'm so blessed you're here hanging out with us. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, Nate's up, but the rest are snoring. Mom is having happy juice. Happy juice. I'm on TikTok way too much now, y'all. Way too much. Oh, hey, Ellen. Hi, Kay. Good to see you. Hi, Candy. You're about to go night-night? Oh, you're using me to go night-night. Candy, did you go to Damon's too? I don't know if you were there. I didn't see you on the live, but I was wondering. Stacy, I took off today and went shopping for fall home decor. Oh, Stacy, how fun. That is fun. I think I'm cut off. I think Kelea's cut off. Kelea has hit the wall. I'm not allowed to buy too much more. Well, I pretty much have Halloween, so I probably will get some more fall. But not until I get it all decorated for Halloween. And we put that up. We have to put that away. I have to set, you know, rules. Becky, you're addicted to swags. Aren't they fun? I like the linear movement of swags for some reason. I'm a curls and movement person, so I love the movement of a swag. That sounds crazy. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. I love that wreath. It was beautiful. And you're an Oklahoma State Cowboys. There's two of you guys here tonight. Whoa. I love that. You're not sure what they are either? It doesn't matter, right? If they're berries or flowers or what, it doesn't matter. They're adorable. They worked perfect. They literally work perfectly. I'm going to pop this one in here. And since this base is green and we're going in, we've kind of got a lot of green working on this particular fall piece. It's going to work fine if it shows a little. You don't have to worry about it. Ooh, you got a new couch? What? You got your Halloween picks? Yay! Aren't they so cute? Oh, okay, so you and Jim went to shop. Okay, I got it. All right. And Megan's over at Damon's. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Oh, you're having to play Norse? Your husband has COVID. Oh, Becky. I'm glad you're negative. Take care with everybody. Oh, boy. It's so scary. Runs through the whole family and you have to worry like that, right? Razorbacks, I believe, are playing the Texas Longhorns. They moved to the SEC. Oh, right. They were saying something because my dad is a U of H fan, University of Houston, and apparently they're moving to a new conference next year. So I'm not sure. Y'all, I know so little. I just go and have fun, and I root for the team that we should be rooting for, depending on the game. Kaya really got into it though. She goes with Grandpa most every Saturday whenever they have a home game. So she's been going for years. So she gets so excited. Oh, wait. You went? Oh, you didn't sell anything today, Janet? At the Festival of the Horse. Okay, well, hopefully tomorrow you're going to get some sales. And hopefully you're meeting people and making connections that could turn into something later. Sometimes you can get sales later after the event. So don't look at it as a complete loss. You're going to learn a lot from it, right? All right, I'm going to go ahead and put our bow in so we can see where we stand and see where else we're going to pop in. I think I am going a little more top center. So dead center would be right here. I'm going to go a little bit above that. But I'm letting all the beautiful pods and eucalyptus come out. Hi, Cindy. Awesome, guys. Stacy, you bought a new couch? Wow. Now that you have the new couch, you're going to decorate. Yes. Yes. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know, but I took care of my mom and dad's cat when they were in California. It's really Marley's cat, my niece. I took care of the cat, and the cat was hiding behind the Christmas decorations, and I didn't even know she could get to the particular chair that was covered with Christmas decorations. And then today when we were cleaning up, sure enough, she had made her a little spot, and I could hear her doing something back there, but she had literally nibbled off the berries off the face of my gingerbread man. He no longer has a nose or eyeballs. Well, it's a nose. No, it's a nose and a button, not eyeballs. Oh, thank you. Treva? Is that how you say it? Thank you. I love visiting with you guys. I love being with y'all and hanging out. I try to keep up with everybody's stories if I can. Sometimes I don't keep it all straight, but I try. She's going to send you the couch. After 18 years, Patricia, you are not getting the couch. Let's be real. I think she needs it. She definitely needs it. Okay, once again, we made this bow on Bow Wednesday, so y'all go back and watch. We were doing blast off bows, so it's a blast off. If you're new, you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's some Keleas bow lingo, and we're talking about the loops in the bow, okay? Oh, good, good, yay! My name's Keleas, so it's different. I'm totally used to getting it butchered. I try. You worked hard for the couch, Stacy. Amen. Amen. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys. We got some lights put on our house, which is a super duper treat. But Honey Bunny, I mean, he loves to decorate for Christmas big time. So we got some lighting put in that you can change for any season once it's installed. It's all LED and it's got an app and everything. I can't wait to show you guys. Honey Bunny is happy. Hi, Jeannie. Ruth, you started rolling your ribbon tails after watching me? Yeah, sweet. I like doing that. That's kind of my thing. Sometimes I even put knots in my ribbon. It just depends what mode we're in. I'm in the 20-inch ribbon tail mode. Hi, Carol. Good to see you. Happy Friday to you, too. So this is some eucalyptus, and let me give you a code. I'm going to get yelled at because I haven't done that yet. This has got more of a brown tone, so I'm picking up the brown tone from the ribbon, a little bit coming out of the leaves in the eucalyptus, and we're gonna tie a little of that in there for a little contrast. So this is item number 56524OR. This is on Keleas.com. Debbie, you can't wait to see the Halloween blow-ups. Yes, yes. I did get one new one. You know, we can't just have all the same stuff. Our poor deprived neighbors. They would be so boring if we had the same thing every year. You know, we do it for the kids, y'all. We do it for the kids. That's what we tell ourselves. Actually, last year I took down the Halloween on Halloween night because I just wanted it cleaned up. It was kind of late, and sure enough, some people came walking by specifically, and she was like, "Oh, I was gonna show my husband." I'm like, "Sorry, all packed up." I felt bad, but it was already all packed up. You know, it was gonna rain the next day, and I just didn't want to deal with it all wet to put it away. So I kind of rushed the pack up a little. Oh, I love this. This is so wispy and pretty. I love this stuff. Oh, it's too far off too high, Stacy? Okay, yeah. Yeah, these are pretty cool. It's called, this particular system is called Jellyfish Lighting, and it's really, really neat. So it was a treat for Honey Bunny for his birthday, and he's so excited. It even has like a option to have the lights look like lightning. Oh, So I thought that's going to be fun for Halloween. We can maybe have a little lightning going. And it has the timers and all that. It's nice. Because he used to do all that manually. So give him a little break. I'm going to put a little more brown coming down the center. Hi, Naveed. Sure you do the same thing for the kids? Yes, me too. CT, right? The day after Halloween, it all comes down, right? Yeah, because I'm ready to kind of do a small transition to fall. I'll leave the pumpkins out there. But all the skeletons need to come down. And then we got to get started on Christmas, CT, right? CT's got a lot to put out, though. He's got a lot. Your grown kids would get so many when they would take Christmas tree down. Aww. They'd get mad when you took the Christmas tree down Christmas Day. I know. It's hard when you do this for a living, guys, you get so excited, but then you're ready to move on, really, because it's just so much. You're like, okay, what's next? What's next? Here it comes. But I'm probably going to use a lot of the stuff we make in the Creative Pumpkin Challenge next week for home decorations for fall. And that way I can just transition to those. Well, that's the plan, right? Oh, Debbie, she did have a great birthday. Thank you for asking. She sure did. She had a great time. We went to supper with Grandma and Grandpa, and then she won her volleyball game. And she's got a sleepover with a friend staying over. So, you know what? We're talking happy camper. She's living her best life. She's finally made like a really good friend. And I think that's, sometimes that's hard for kids to do. And she's always had boys as her friends. This is her first really good girlfriend. So I'm happy for her. It's really good. Oh, that's okay, Darla. We're making this on a pine, a Christmas pine. It is a 30-inch pine. Let me show you. What did I do? Glue it to the board? It's a pine, Darla. Okay? And we're working it all in to the pine base. Right? Karen, I'm working on the 30-inch one. You could do this on the 24. We have both in the shop. You could go either way. Hey, Faith, we got a pumpkin challenge coming. We're going to have a pumpkin party. I had to make sure we didn't run out of pumpkins. I have committed to the pumpkin Creative Pumpkin Challenge next week, so we were not going to be low on pumpkins. And I bought 2 of everything. Because even though we sell pumpkins, everything's been selling so quickly, I don't know what we would have available just in case. I wanted to make sure I had pumpkins from every different sources. Okay, I hope I have one more brown. I do. I've got one more. A little fall, then full-blown Christmas CT. Oh, nice. Nice. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Me too. I love all the eucalyptus. I love it. When I was coming up in the industry a long time ago, probably 20, 23, 24 years ago, preserved eucalyptus was all the rage. The thing is, preserved eucalyptus here in Texas bleeds. It bleeds because we have too much humidity. Well, not all over Texas, but here in Houston. So it always made it just like, don't touch it. You have to use it indoors. It was crazy. It was crazy back then. Oh, Georgie, Kaya just turned 12. I know. I think when we started live, she was 5. No, she wasn't 5. That's a lie. She was 7 or something like that, right? 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, she was 7 or 8. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Thank you, Debbie. I was happy for her, Oh, Carol, you go out for each holiday. We're on a corner. You get so many compliments. No blow-ups. I'm tired of doing it. Carol. Come on, Carol. I know. We're still going to have some blow-ups. We put in some new gardens, so I'm going to be able to put some of well, y'all, last year we had a lot of stuff planned, but we couldn't do it because my mom and dad both got COVID. Y'all, a lot of you know, your loyal followers, you're here all the time. So our whole world got ripped upside down. And we didn't do everything I wanted to do in our yard, but I got some really cute, big ceramic snowmen to put out there. Or they're resin. And hopefully we're going to be able to put those out this year. I'm excited about that. Marcus, pumpkin party! Marcus is in design school, so he's going to be coming to the pumpkin party. Hopefully you can join us, Marcus, next weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We got replays on everything, guys. Replays. That's the Creative Pumpkin Challenge coming up. And it's a paid event. It's a paid party. But believe me, we have lots of fun. There'll be lots of giveaways. And we just have a blast creating together. The whole schedule is also posted on the sales page. So if you click the link below, it'll tell you about our Creative Pumpkin Challenge. But that's a bunch of pumpkins for the challenge over there. All right. So I've got eucalyptus. I've got green and brown. That looks great. I can stop here. I had put aside some white pumpkins, so I thought maybe we're gonna tuck some pumpkins in and see how it goes. You're gonna be there, Marcus? Yes, yes, awesome. So this is a little assortment bag of pumpkins we do have available on Keleas.com. Item number 9. No, that's wrong. 59050. 59050. All right. I'm gonna see if we want to put these in there. Let's cut these open. Got some different fun shapes. I love fun shapes of pumpkins. Oh my gosh, when they start putting the regular pumpkins in the grocery store, are you guys like me? You're like, ooh, there's another shape. I could put that in the kitchen. I could put this outside. I could real pumpkins, fake pumpkins, I like them all. Stacy, whatever. Whatever. You're not going to come Thursday or Friday, Stacy? You should come hang out with us Thursday and Friday. Time goes fast, Kimmy. Wow, right? Crazy fast. All right, I'm getting some ties. I'm going to pin these into this wreath base. Excuse me, I've got to reach. Excuse my reach, y'all. I'm going to get some floral pins. And let's decide where we're going to pin these in. I can pin them directly to the pine in here. But I was thinking we'll take a couple and just pin them right in. Okay. Oh, Lord, Patricia, what for? I hope it's not a huge deal. You're going to be there Thursday and Friday, Stacey? Thank you. You're not coming to the pumpkin party, though? The big party at the end? Maybe you could pop in amidst the football game. Stacy's like, I cannot. This is my favorite thing. That's all right, Stacy. We'll take you when we can get you. All right, I love that one kind of going down. Now let me see what other kind of textures I have in here. I've got one that's kind of a little bit of a flat one. Oh, these are cute. Look at this one. Hi, Joanna. All right, I got a flat one. I got a curvy one. I love these. Y'all, this is such an easy swag. Y'all need to be knocking these out. Super cute. I'm going to tuck this one kind of, trying to decide, do I want these? I just kind of want these, a couple down here, just tucked in amongst this eucalyptus. Let's go in here. I'm just using floral pins. I'm pinning it to the pine, and then I'm just making sure I twist the pine back so they can't fall off. They're going to wiggle a little, but they're not going anywhere. Okay, let's get one of these other gourds. Wow, Tracy, 24? You look just way too young to have kids that old. Tracy, Time does fly, right? Uh-oh, Stacy, game starts at 3:30, huh? You probably can come in the morning, but you'll probably be, you'll probably still be doing game time. The schedule is there. I don't have it all memorized, but the schedule is in the group already. Stacy, you can go take a peek in the group, which I think you're already in the Creative Pumpkin Challenge. That group, it's in there. All right, I'm gonna use one more pin because see how that one's kind of floppy? We don't want that. I'm gonna pin it up just a little bit higher. Okay. Hi, Stephanie from New Jersey. Great to see you. All right, let me pin it up a little bit. I'm gonna grab, it's nothing worse than a floppy gourd, y'all. Nothing worse. Let me tuck this in over here. So if you work with pumpkins and gourds that are artificial and they're foam, the nice thing is you can just tuck them in and pin them. It's easy. Sure, you have 4 grandchildren and 1 great-grandson? Congratulations, that's wonderful. What a lovely family. We just have 1 daughter. God bless us with 1 wonderful daughter. And don't get me wrong, she can be a handful, but we love her. Okay, I'm going to tuck this in back here. We're going to do the same process. And I might have to put a couple of pins up here because I want to make sure they're going to hold. Or you know what, I'll just tie it further back. This is so cute. I love the dimension of this eucalyptus in here. Okay, there's that one. And let's put one more up here, I think. Yeah, Karen, I put the pin in to the pumpkin. And I grabbed one of the pine stems and just, so it's pumpkin, pine. My finger's the pine, right? And the pin's just going to go right through that pine. Okay? Let's see here. Oh, wow. 29. That's crazy, Tracy. You tried to do a calf heart yesterday, but what the hell, Patricia? Okay. Girlfriend, go get them, take care of you. All right. Kimmy, you're going to be watching. Okay. Well, good, Kimmy. You're going to take care of her for the Rainbows Baby in Children's Hospital Cleveland. Okay. Well, you know, it's all going to be available on replay, too. So anytime you want to watch it later, it'll be there for you. Just like if you did the Hydrangea Wreath Challenge in the spring, that's still there for you to watch later. Whenever you want to watch it. Alright, I'm going to push this in here. I'm using these flatter pumpkins, and I'm letting them kind of be a little flat. Just want a little space between those. Oh, that's cute. See how we kind of got a nice line of the white pumpkins going down the middle? All right, Patricia, I'm sorry to sound kind of... I'm glad you're there, getting it taken care of. They're going to take good care of you. All right, let's see. I'm going to have a couple of pumpkins left for another project, but we got a whole challenge coming, so that's fine. Paula! Oh, Paula, we only take credit cards. Our payment system is Stripe, so it's done all on the computer. We don't take any of your information. It's all encrypted. So it's secure because a Kelea does not see your number. My team doesn't see your number. It's all done through a service called Stripe. So it's a service that I pay for them to process the credit cards because it's a third party. The autumn bush here, this is a greenery bush. I'm going to tuck a little of this in just for a little bit more of a texture that's going to be kind of curling in and out. This is 81118 autumn. Okay? Thanks, Linda. All right, and I'm going to trim these off. let's get this in. Let's get this in here. Sarah? Sarah, I don't think I knew you had twins. Wow. Are the twins girls? Or boys, Sarah? Oh, I understand, Paula. Me and Honey Bunny today had words a little bit too. Because we were doing big time cleaning. And as soon as you touch any of his stuff, does yours, Honey Bunnies, do this? That you get into their area and now they're like, don't want to clean. They want all your area clean, but they don't want to clean their area. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. I see how it is. Okay, I'm going to tuck this piece in. I want this piece to kind of come out the bottom right here under the, where we put those pods at the very beginning. I'm tucking that under here. I like these leaves. They have that little touch of like the autumn edge. I'm going to let that kind of flow down there. 17-year-old and 10-year-old, right? And you've got your hands full. Oh, okay, the boys. Oh, so they're identical, Sarah? Oh, wow. And the youngest is a girl. So, Gwendolyn, we're going to do more projects besides in the Creative Pumpkin Challenge. We're going to do more projects besides what you see as a wreath. I don't want you to run out and buy everything. I want you to come and if you want to create the wreath, buy the supplies to create the wreath. But I want you to be inspired. And then you can go out and see supplies that you can get wherever your local store has something similar. So you don't end up buying a whole lot unless you want to make all the things. So we're going to have more projects in the challenge besides the wreath. That's why there's so many pumpkins. But don't go buy everything yet until you decide, oh yeah, I think I want to make that arrangement, or I want to try what Kelea did here, or I want to try that candlestick project she did. If you want to do those, then get the supplies, okay? So there'll be more. I'll tell you all about them. We'll give you the item numbers and all that. But the big project we're doing is the wreath, okay? Alrighty. Paula, I understand. I get it. Oh. We have issues. Well, I don't think they mean anything by it. They just, I don't know. I get it. Debbie, 38, and your daughter will be 42. Wow. Wow, Debbie. You got your hands full and then some, right? Hey, Melissa, checking in from Cali. Good to see you. You stacked papers on your hubby's desk. Gave him a little bin. He came home, sat in the living room, and asked if I did something to make him mad. He said, yeah, you cleaned off your desk. Yeah. Well, Honey Bunny works at home now because they don't have an office anymore. So he's in the living room, which is fine. But he had house bills stacked, which he doesn't even pay that many house. I take care of most of it. He pays a few. But he's got them stacked over there like that's an organizational system in a pile on the cardboard boxes still from his office that he left over a year ago now. You know, girls, y'all. Now, if I would have done all that when he wasn't at home, which I cannot do because he works here at the house now, he would not have even known it even happened. He would have no clue. So that's the only thing, Jeanette. Yours might have noticed. Mine wouldn't have had a clue. Oh, wow. And a kid, yeah, crazy, Kimmy. For the gallbladder, right? Yay! So I'm just taking a little bit of that additional greenery. I'm popping in a little eucalyptus. I always like to put something kind of tight to the bow. I think it looks really fun. In design school, which is our class that I teach weekly about floral design and technique, a little bit different than this live here as I tell you what techniques we're using to create the design you're seeing. But I would call that breaking the plane. Like we want to break the plane of other objects in our wreath. So I like to do that. I think it's fun. Took you 15 years to train him. I got it. I got it. Oh. Right, Janae, he noticed way too quick. Way too quick. Yeah, I like redid the whole front flower bed. He had no clue. He was like, oh, it looks nice. I'm like, yeah, it does. Of course, I'm out there doing floral design in the flower bed. I've got curves and, you know, I've got this flowing here and I want that to be a spiller and go over the edge. And he's looking at me like, oh, well, yeah, have fun. That's okay. He puts up with me pretty good, though. Considering. All right, I got it nice and full. I'm going to put a little bit more right in here between these two pumpkins. Pop that in. So you guys, if you're thinking about joining the challenge, it's going to start next Thursday. I am going to do some shopping earlier in the week in the challenge group. So there's an advantage of getting in there a little bit early so I can show you some of the fun things that I see at different stores that you can substitute for things that we're using in the projects. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Your hubby calls you hands. It gets hidden. Yes, Stacy, right? Debbie, your husband's talking about retiring next year. Oh my gosh, Debbie. Wait, that's supposed to be like your she shed or something. All right, guys, here's our swag. We started off with that Christmas vase right here, 30-inch pine Christmas vase, which of course you guys can use those anytime. And we added a lot of fun eucalyptus, green and brown. We popped in some pumpkins. We used our bow from Bow Wednesday and we did it. It turned out really, really pretty. A nice neutral fall piece that can transition from all the way from the end of summer, like we are now, right into fall. For those people who don't want the orange and the bright orange in falls. I think it turned out really pretty too. I love it, Stacy. Yes, yes. Okay, yes, and you guys, we're going to send out the supply list for this project tomorrow on the text list. So if you're not already on our text list, you can go to textkelea.com to get on it. And just fill out the paperwork, you'll text me, and then all I do is text you out the links for the supply list, and we also text you links when we go live, so you won't miss a live. Even if you missed it, you can watch the replay later from the link we send you on the text. So this hanger, I didn't make it, Kimmy, it was built in. It came built into these swags. I didn't have to do anything. I cheated! Thanks, Carol! Thanks, guys. I love y'all. We'll see you soon. Y'all go have fun with flowers. And come see us tomorrow. We got a really fun, easy project that you are going to love for Simple Saturday tomorrow. So Simple Saturday is all about projects that can be done in under 30 minutes, whether you're a beginner or more experienced. So check us out tomorrow. We'll text that out too when that comes out live. All right, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.